And we are live. Hello to all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there. And welcome to another edition of Grapple Gurus, your PPV and PLE review show here on the BC WrestlePod Network. I am one of your hosts, Mikey, and tonight, this evening, joining me, the baldest Bond villain you can never think of, Mr. Kilt Man is in the house. Hi, Kilt.
What up? I'm happy to be here. That intro was probably one of your best for me. You've had a lot over the years, but it is probably the best.
Hey, you know what? I will take it and I will run with it. Oh man, I'm super excited. Kilt and I are here this evening to review Elimination Chamber. So WWE's Elimination Chamber from this past Saturday, and it's technically 48 hours later, and the world is still talking of everything that went down.
God. It is. There's so much to go over. There's so much to talk about. There's even the final boss's Waffle House order we can talk about. Like, oh my God.
One of my personal favorite TikTok wrestling creators, because every time he gets an interview, he's always asking, "What's your Waffle House order?"
Yes. And for the record, my Waffle House order is the 2-egg breakfast over easy, hash browns, smothered color capped, bacon and white toast with usually a coffee or Mr. Pibb. Or
I love it.
Burger.
Love it. I'm a West Coaster, so I have yet to go to Waffle House yet.
Well, next time we have something big in Orlando, then you're going to have to come out this way so we can take you to Waffle House.
Very fair. I will definitely go to Waffle House. But before Kilt and I get into all the action that was Elimination Chamber, if you like what you see here, follow us on all the socials, which we pretty much are everywhere outside of YouTube and Twitch. We also have a Facebook where you can, catch everything. Instagram is also where you can see our report cards for the weekly shows and the pay-per-views, as well as some fun stuff like predictions, out of context clips, and some other stuff, which I'm super excited to be getting into with all of that. We also have some merchandise, so treat yourself to something nice. Yes, you deserve it, despite what you or the world tells you. So why not to represent your favorite conglomeration of weirdos on wrestling internet, then to support us with some merch. So it's fantastic. Alrighty, so I don't want to waste any more time because we have a lot to get into, and I want to talk about everything. Hi, Fluffy. Sorry, I had to do that.
All right. I didn't want to do it over you. I was trying to be polite, but hi, Fluffy. Okay.
I love it. Alrighty, so let's just jump straight into it. We got 4 matches and a hell of an ending to the show to get through, so let's get through these 5 points. But before we get into it, my overall thoughts with this, it has not changed in the last 48 hours. I said it on our WWE review yesterday morning/afternoon. This was a near flawless show, and I gave this an A-. This was probably WWE's best pay-per-view in the last couple of years, but hands down.
Hands down, mic drop, best. I have it. It was funny. We had this conversation because we were talking about the report card after the fact. You were flopping between B+ and A-, and I reminded you the one most important thing. If that did not happen, it would have been a B+, but because it did happen,
it pushed it over to A-.
It's no one knew that was coming, and it's like I want to skip all the way to the end just so we can talk about it, but I'm trying to be good with our chronologicalness, and it's oh my God, there's so much. So
but the beautiful thing is, well, okay, except for one match, but even then I still think it had its merit. Everything else was still really solid, but we'll talk about the bathroom break match, as we call it around here, but we'll get there. So let's kick things off with our first match of the evening, what opened it up. WWE, I love you. I would like to see the women's chamber close one of these years, but that's neither here nor there.
I fully agree. The ladies should be the closers. The last 2 PLEs and pay-per-views, the ladies' matches were the top match of the event. The guys could not hold a candle to it. I'm not going to say that this Elimination Chamber men's match wasn't great. It was phenomenal. There was layers upon layers upon, oh my God, this was amazing. But the women outdid themselves. Their storytelling was amazing. It just, everything in this match, I literally, I can't sit here and praise it enough. Like, the only critique I had was what happened at the beginning. It felt, afterwards, it felt a little disjointed, and then there was no real, like, recovery from it, so to speak.
It
But
took a little bit to get back on track, but that is okay. Well, speaking of which, though, so the baddest girl, Miss Jade the baddest Miss Jade
the
Cargill.
baddest,
Yes,
she is amazing. Like, she looks flawless. Like,
so good.
She's got so much definition right now, coming back from an injury, and it's just like, she reminds. Okay, for us nerdy people who have played a lot of the Elder Scrolls games, do you remember Morrowind? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yes, continue.
She looks like who was it? It was one of the gods. It was the golden elf god. She, in this image right here, she looks just like it, and I'm like, I'm all for this, because oh my God, I will bow down. Let me.
For reals. But before we even got to the start of the Elimination Chamber match, Jade Cargill makes her return. She gets inside the ring and she beats up on Naomi. Poor Bianca Belair, who would only watch from her pod as Jade was thrashing Naomi up against the pods, against the cage, the Elimination Chamber itself. Thus, Jade Cargill being the reason. And then that was so painful sounding when she slammed the door on Naomi. I was like, oof.
It sounded bad, and I'm like, oh no. And props to Bianca Belair for her basic. We were going to say it's acting because it is entertainment wrestling. Excuse me. But she sat there and sold that spot so well. Like, it was like, I'm surprised at how well they had that pod mic'd, because of, just in general, but like, everything she was doing, she was selling it like it was literally a disaster. And then literally as soon as she got in, she had to refocus and just zoom.
Oh my goodness. This was phenomenal. I'm happy Jade's back. I'm interested to see where we go within the next 9 to 10 weeks leading to WrestleMania. But it was after this moment, Naomi was officially, technically eliminated from the match because she could not participate, which led us into, the official start of the match. So Liv and Naomi were set to start. It was just Liv. Then Roxanne ends up coming in.
No, it goes Bianca, then Roxanne.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
Bianca came in, because at first it was Liv taunting Bianca in the pod, and then all of a sudden the pod just, the thing happens, the pod opens, and then here comes Bianca wanting to whoop some white ass, and it was, I'm gonna wait for the spot because I know it's in here, but
yeah,
damn.
So Bianca and Liv go at it, and then the pod opens up for Roxanne to make it in. So these three ladies go back and forth. Then we get Bailey added into the mix, and then finally we have Alexa Bliss in here just starting to clear house.
Oh, that was so amazing. And she even hit the Sister Abigail Crossroad. That was I'm so glad to see that move again. Like, I can't sit here and, as I said earlier, I cannot speak enough to these women. They are performing flawlessly. They're outperforming their male counterparts. No argument on that. Because these ladies, obviously, when you're a female wrestler or female presenting wrestler, you have to outperform the guys, because the guys, for the most part, get a pass. But the women, you have to outperform, you have to outmaneuver, you have to outshine everyone. And this roster so far has been doing phenomenal work, especially with their storytelling, especially with their in-ring work. I don't think I can really say anything negative about this match.
No. Everybody's in the ring, everyone's getting their spots in, but then eliminations start happening with, who's left with the 5. So so of course, at this point, everybody's going on. Bailey gets eliminated, Roxanne gets eliminated, and then we have one of my personal favorite spots where Liv Morgan eliminates Alexa Bliss, and I'm just like, oh, Alexa is gonna come get you.
This is one of the things that kind of that I'm absolutely loving every minute of it. And the one problem I have in the storytelling so far with WWE on the in the main shows is we had a stint of the Wyatt Six, and then they disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well now you have Alexa Bliss back. What's going on with this storyline?
Right.
It just disappeared all of a sudden. And that was right before the time I started coming back and full time to this. And it's like, what's going on here? And then now we have her, and I'm like, okay, so she has a lot of storyline she can start running through here. A feud with Liv Morgan because of being eliminated, or a feud with this person or that person. She has a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see what story progress they do with her, not just in the next space between now and Mania, but after.
Oh, absolutely. So we get down to the final 2 where Liv and Bianca just continue to go back at it. Liv Morgan showing welts on social media because she did the one thing Bianca Belair told her not to do, and that was pull the braid. So what happens? We get them on top of the pod. Liv is pulling the hair. Bianca's like, she takes her braid, she swings it back, and she lets that thing fly. That was so loud. Oh my gosh. Liv Morgan, damn.
Like, you see the welt develop during the match, because it was, if I remember right, it was right before this elimination, because there was, I think Bailey was still in the ring, and it was because I think it was 4 of them. It was Liv and Bailey and Bianca Belair up on top of the pod doing the spot, and then there was 2 others in the ring just doing something else, and you just hear that whip crack across the back, and I think it hit the cage as well, and that's what amplified a lot of the sound. And it's like, dude, there was no microphone application to that. That was just that. And it's like, oh, damn.
For reals. That was probably my favorite spot of the whole match. I'm like, you go, Bianca. Use your braid. like
she's been using it before, but this is like, it's out of frame kind of power level.
Right. And Bianca, she picks and chooses when she hits people with the braid. But hey, Liv didn't listen. Bianca told her not to pull it. She pulled it. And so she got the braid whipped with it. Again, we get down to the final 2 of Liv and Bianca. They go back and forth in a very awesome sequence, but ultimately Bianca hits the KOD on Liv Morgan, and your winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber, Bianca Belair, and she is going to WrestleMania to face either Rhea or Io, depending on who comes out as champion tonight. But this was an amazing match. Bianca goes up the ramp, and she is meted by Rhea, and then Io comes out. I'm like, and when I saw this picture, I'm like, please let this be my triple threat at Mania. Do you know how amazing this match would be if it was these 3 fighting for Rhea's championship? Like,
I want this to be a triple threat match, and I'm looking forward to watching Raw. Because I'm not going to watch it tonight. I'm going to watch it tomorrow after I get home from work. And it's going to be amazing. Like, now I'm predicting there's going to be a DQ because someone interferes in the match. That's my prediction for the Rhea Io Sky match tonight at Raw. But I want to see the 3-way. I don't
Oh,
care how I
that's
phrase
super.
that. I want to see I want to see the 3-way of these 3 amazingly talented women going at it and just wrecking face for that title. I think that would be an amazing WrestleMania match, and it would put it at top tier.
Oh, absolutely. All 3 of these women individually are fantastic. A triple threat between these 3 would be even better. But the women started the night off right. This was fantastic opener. I love the match. Shout out to all the women. And we've got places to go for some of them in terms of stories leading into Mania. Good job, girls. So, okay. Let's be real. This we knew this was not going to be a technical barn burner. However, this was basically, this is let's get Trish in front of the home crowd. I will say though, the thing that I really liked about this match is number one, despite the sloppiness of the build a little bit, I still think this match accomplished what it needed to do, which was to make Tiffany more of a babyface and solidify her as a babyface for right now. The other thing that I was like, okay, I think we're point blank period done with Tiffany and Nia for a little bit is the fact that Nia was the one who took the pin in this match. So because Candace is usually the one to get pinned in these matches, but Tiffany pinned Nia. So I think that is Triple H's way of telling us that the story between these two is over for now. Tiffany and Trish do win. Again, this is more of the P-break match, but story-wise, it did what it needed to. And Nia getting pinned, I think, ends this feud for now between these two.
I hope so, because it's entertaining as it can be. It's a little dull.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I thought we would have gotten the end of the story like a couple weeks ago when Nia re-challenged Tiffany for the title, but hey, here we are. So
yeah, it's
Anywho. So again, Trish and Tiffany win. This was not my favorite match, but it, solidified Tiffany as a babyface. She pinned Nia. We're done with this feud. So now now Tiffany can focus on the monumental task at hand, which is her fighting Charlotte at WrestleMania. And God, I hope Hunter will let Tiffany go over, but time will tell, and we will see when we get to Mania. So nothing more to say about this. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing, but it did what it needed to solidify Tiffany. And for me personally, always love seeing Trish Stratus in the ring.
Yes, agreed.
Sweet. So let us move on. This is on my short list of matches of 2025. I knew these two had great chemistry. Like I said when we did our predictions, I was a little worried about how crazy they were going to let Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get. We didn't even get blood, and I was not mad at it. I was like, they found creative ways to brutalize each other, and it was thanks to this match that really pushed me over the edge because I ended the night to perfect 5-0 because I was the only one to pick Kevin Owens in my predictions.
I was 3-2, okay?
Hey, you know what? That's okay because that's how I usually end up in most of these pay-per-views. This is the first pay-per-view in a very long time that I had a clean sweep in terms of WWE League. But my God, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, unsanctioned match. These two, even from the jump, just went for it.
It was, yes, let's pull a Mike Tyson. But this match, there's only 2 critiques I had, and we mentioned this yesterday on Dynasty Duo, but the only critique I had for this match was when they were showing Kevin Owens walking in, they showed him picking up a ratchet and a wrench and putting it in his bag, and he didn't use it at all. And then we were joking about this throughout the match, but they set up 2 tables, and they're like, "Oh, well, how long until someone mentioned Chekhov's gun, where if you present a table or if present a gun in the first match, you have to it has to go off. Well, now we have Chekhov's wrestling table. If you pull a table out, it's going to get broken.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get there. So let's go through to the greatest hits, if you will, because there was a lot of pictures that I could pick. I just picked some of my favorites. So this was towards the beginning of the match. We get Sami Zayn getting caught up in a pipe. Kevin Owens pulls Mike Tyson and starts biting him.
Yeah.
We go into the crowd where not only the trash, so good. Go for it.
This is one of my favorite spots because, he just got trashed, but Pat McAfee had one of his best lines right here. And he says, "Oh man, Sami Zayn just hit KO with Dominic Mysterio." I'm like, yes!
Pat McAfee is usually like off the wall crazy with his commentary, and I laughed so hard at that statement. But like when they went to go for it, sorry.
The commentary all night was a little wonky, a little over wordy. It was sometimes hit or miss, but some of their zingers just was like flunk, 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 flunk.
When they went into the crowd, I even still love the spots. We had the trash can. We went through the table full of snacks at some point too.
3 tables of snacks and drinks.
That was wild to me. I was just like, well, dang, that was crazy. And this was only like in the first 10 minutes of the match. Like, holy crap.
I was surprised they went on for damn near 15 to 20 minutes of just wearing each other out. It was insane. Like, it got to a point where everyone's like, okay, this can be done now. Like, the commentator, because you heard from the trio, it's like, okay, we can stop now. KO, we can stop now. We can stop now. And the thing is, I think they were delaying a little only because of what happened at the end. You muted yourself.
I knew that. This was only 10 minutes, and this was already getting crazy. We get back to the ring, and as you said, Chekhov's gun. If a table's going to be used, if a table gets set up, it's going to be used. Sami Zayn with the gnarliest bump I have seen him take in a while, going through the tower of tables. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, somebody gets him some milk. Like,
it's like 2 tables. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like it. And this also solidified for me. We need a tables match in WrestleMania, because we have ladder matches and sometimes, but we definitely need a tables match.
Seriously,
because you heard him like throughout the entire night, this entire match. Get the tables. I'm like, yes, get the tables.
Please get the tables. And sure enough, they got the tables. Like, this was crazy. But then we had 2 ref interferences where both Kevin Owens just decking and pushing refs out the way, not giving a flying fudge.
Like, that was like, I feel sorry I forgot the first guy's name, and then I know the second guy that KO decked. He's been around forever. He's one of the OG refs for WCW era, from what I remember. He's basically the Michael Cole of the refs. It's the best way I can put it. And it's like, oh man, because you see him throughout the match on the floor outside the ring, and I'm like, can we get that guy like back to safety? Like, I see all y'all there. Can you just put him somewhere? And then after this, it's the next spot that cinched this for me, and I am like, I love it. It was amazing.
Do you mean this spot?
This spot. You
with
see
the barbed wire chair.
Sammy pulls it out and looks at the chair, looks at KO, looks at the chair, goes, "Were you really trying to use this on me?" And then just hits him in the face with it first. And then does this. Oh my God.
Right.
This
I
was
don't
so
have
much fun.
I do not have enough words to describe how crazy this match got, but then, so yeah.
Yeah.
So this was after the match. So Kevin Owens, as I said at the beginning, wins. And then by the way, let's talk really quickly before
Actually,
we
no,
get into
this
the
was
post-match.
before the pin.
Oh, you're
This-
right, because Sammy got a chair for his worries. And then let's talk about the multiple power bombs to the apron in order for KO to keep Sammy down. Like, oh my gosh. Like, that was wild.
They were excuse me. Excuse me. I'll be back. Talk to
Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about this finishing sequence. So, as crazy as this match already was, we had steel bars, we had trash cans going through tables of snacks, we had a stack of tables, we had chairs, ref bumps, ref decking in the face, we had chair
Hockey
shots to the
sticks.
face, hockey sticks. We had a whole bunch of stuff. Kevin Owens was getting pissed, and he's like, I got to keep Sami Zayn down. So, multiple power bombs to the ring apron in order to keep Sammy down. Kevin Owens does pick up the victory here, but Sammy's like, I'm not quite done yet. So,
Well,
then
Sammy,
go for
Sammy
it.
didn't do anything after the pin.
No,
Like, he
sorry.
was-
Kevin was like, I'm not done with this yet.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, because here's where I think this was a timing issue. Because you see Kevin just start to walk into the back, stop, then turn around and do this next bit where he's pulling up the pads around the ring and is going to, I think it was either going to powerbomb or he's going to he was going to put Sammy through the concrete. That's what was coming. And then
Yeah. I have voices in my head that talk to me. They understand. We get the return of Randall Keith Orton. Randy Orton is back, still looking jacked as ever. But the first picture on top, Kevin Owens is like, fudge.
It's like, I just took out one friend. Do I have to take out another? And you see him go through that stage of grief and emotion in the ring while Randy's walking to the ring. And this is why I say there was a timing error. I think he was running late because of traffic, because even Pat McAfee was literally got there to the beginning of the pregame show, like as it's starting, and had to rush through everything just so he can get on camera because the traffic was insane. And I think that there was that he was stuck in traffic along the way. Excuse me. Got there, had to get changed, had to get ready, get himself all oiled up, bronzy, and and then make his way to figure out, okay, am I doing this? What am I doing? And then that's where I think the timing, why they had to drag everything out so much to get to this point. This is my other issue with this match. I think Randy should have came out before the pin or after, like immediately after. That would have been the better option, I think, story-wise. But this was still good. I love this.
Oh, absolutely. So Randy Orton comes down, fight Kevin Owens. Then we get the tease kilt.
Oh, it was. Oh, come on. Give me the thing. Give me it. Give me the punt. Give me the punt. Give me the punt. Give me the punt.
So Randy sets up. He's about to deliver the punt to KO, but then KO gets out of the ring as well as a swarm of security guards, coming out of the ring. coming into the ring to separate the two, and I'm just like, there's your WrestleMania match right here, and it ends with KO getting punted in the face.
And then he goes for a while.
Goes on vacation for a little bit, like go take some time off because he deserves it.
They both deserve it. Like those two have been, Sammy and KO have been working their proverbial asses off this entire year coming up to WrestleMania. It's been insane for the two of them. I think they both deserve some well allotted time off.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Randy Orton was mad he couldn't punch, so the poor security guard got caught an RKO for their troubles. And then Randy started to RKO more people.
Those guys, the 3 security guards, like he's like, here, come here, let me shake your hand. RKOs him. Like, dude, that's kind of messed up. He's just sitting there doing his like. It's funny. It's a good bit, and I love it. And then we'll see these 3 probably as the next Shield or something, in the next 5-10 years. Because isn't that just the fun little bit of WWE history? Sooner or later, you go from being security to being talent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but this, like I said, the unsanctioned match definitely lived up to what I wanted it to be. And of course, I'm weird. I like to see blood, but you know what? I'm kind of glad we did it because they did enough carnage and damage to each other without having to bleed, which was nuts to watch.
I mean, we got blood.
Oh, we will. We will talk about that when we get to the very end, but again, this unsanctioned match is on my short list of matches of 2025, which is saying something. And this sets up, hopefully, Randy and KO at Mania. And I need some sort of crazy stipulation match, too, because, like, we need them to fight each other without the regular rules. Throw them out the window. Exactly.
Have fun.
So, a very strong match. And I was just like, damn. I was like, all right, so the unsanctioned match happened. We're going to get the men's chamber. So at this point of the show, I was like, all right, Cody and Rock are going to close, which is kind of crazy. So before we get there, though, we have one more match to talk about, the men's elimination chamber. I said it during our predictions that the last couple of years with the men's chamber, it's just been oddly paced and has not been fun. Honestly, this is probably my favorite men's chamber in this Triple H era. Oh my gosh. I think this chamber did so much to set up 3 different matches for Mania. I was just like, this is crazy. And while my 2 picks of who would win was Cena and Punk, honestly, like I said during predictions when we made them, you could make a case for any of these 6 to win. But let's get into it. So we get the entrances. Everybody's in the pod. We get things started with Drew McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins, who came out. I was like, is those Becky's coat and glasses? I was like, here we go.
Yeah,
I was like, here we go. This is going to be fun. But we start things off with Drew and Seth, who, no stranger to each other. Fantastic. This is great. But then we start to get people in. I believe Damian Priest is 3rd to enter. So he ends up coming in. Starts clearing house a little bit. Logan Paul is 4th to enter. Right? Yeah, Logan Paul is 4th.
Yeah.
Then after that, it is Cena. And then Punk enters. And then this is where all hell breaks loose. So first, to my surprise, Drew McIntyre is the first to be eliminated by Damian Priest.
That was not at all surprising to me. I'm like, yeah, it's as I saw it, it was going to be one of 3 people first. So I think it'd be Damian. It's going to be more than likely Drew or Logan Paul. And then like, oh, there goes Drew. There goes Drew McIntyre. He's going to cry about it all on social media for the next who knows how many weeks. I got eliminated too early. Whatever. I don't care. Move along, you jealous ex-girlfriend.
Yes. So Drew is eliminated, but unfortunately, Drew McIntyre was not going to take this down. So he beats up Damian Priest, and poor Damian gets eliminated next after Logan Paul gets to go to the top of the pod and does a crazy frog splash. So Damian is eliminated because of Drew, and I'm like, there you go. There's your first match that was made in this men's chamber. Drew versus Damian. I was just like, yes, bisexual Undertaker, you got this.
That would be a great Street Rules match. Let him go wild. It just let him have fun. I would love for that match if freaking Drew McIntyre brings out a Claymore. Just starts
like literally an actual Claymore and not like his
it's
finisher.
Obviously it's going to be a not his finisher, but like an actual Claymore, and just start swinging it. I'll be like, that's going to be hilariously fun.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like a kendo stick Claymore, maybe even. I don't know, but still, like, yes.
Seriously. So Drew and Damian are eliminated. So we are down to the final four of Logan, Cena, Punk, and Seth. Logan Paul does the one thing he shouldn't do and taunt CM Punk. Pod opens, Punk goes in and decks him in the face and starts beating him up.
This was so good.
The Toronto crowd was so into this moment.
It was by far probably one of the best moments, one of the best moments of the men's chamber, because it's like, you know, it's going to be me next. You already know it's going to be me next. Here I come. And then just wham, 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 wham. I'm like, yes, keep doing it. Do it some more.
Literally, CM Punk is clobbering time. Like, we got this. So we get into deck Logan Paul in the face, and then we went from here. Seth and Logan end up getting disposed of. The crowd and I lost this mind. I was just like, damn, these two have so much history together. This stare down made me super excited. And then CM Punk, my hero, eliminates Logan Paul third. I was like, hallelujah. I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about potentially Logan Paul actually winning this match. But then this is where things get juicy. Okay. But first, before that, like, commentary said, what was it, 22 or 23 championships between these three?
I think it's at least 22, because Cena is a 17-time undisputed. I don't even remember how many Punk and Seth have. They've got a lot between them, and it's like
so many,
and it's like when you look at this list, I think the basically the underachiever of this elimination chamber was Drew. If you kind of go down,
he had one world championship and it lasted all of 5 minutes, because remember, Punk knocked him out a little bit, and then Damian cashed in at SummerSlam. What was it? Yeah, it wasn't SummerSlam. It was Mania last year.
It was literally as soon as he won, he goes, "Oh my God, it's mine! Here comes Senor Money in the Bank."
He makes fun of CM Punk. Punk lays him out, which then Damian comes out and takes the title from Drew. So it was great. Yep. Oh my goodness!
It was this, and then this was funny. This is why Seth lost. In all honesty, at least story wise, because he wanted to beef with Punk, and that was it. He was like, Cena, back the fuck off. Let me have my shit. And Cena's like, no, but it's not how this works. It's mine. And so that's
yep.
And that's how he gets eliminated.
We will talk about Seth in a little bit, because Petty McGee is in the house when we get there. But stare down. These two hug it out. Yes, it was a little slower, but this was a fun sequence of these two just going back and forth.
The phase is just so great.
Right. This was such a fun sequence. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's 2025. And I'm still watching John Cena and CM Punk fight each other in WWE. That's wild. But it is never meant to be, because Punk eliminates Seth. Seth doesn't take it lying down, and Seth curb stomps Punk for his troubles, which then John Cena. And now that once I rewatched this, I was like, this was red flag number one, because usually Cena is not the type of person to take advantage of something like this. But I was like, hold the phone. he sees CM Punk laid up there. He says he's sorry and he takes advantage of the situation. But this was my money shot. John Cena saying, "I'm sorry." Seth Rollins saying, "Die." I was like, oh, yes, this is great. John Cena pins CM Punk, which then allows him to become the winner of the men's elimination chamber. John Cena is going to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes. We're going to put a pin in you, John Cena, because we're going to come back to you in a couple of seconds. But my goodness, this men's chamber definitely was a lot of fun, setting up so many different WrestleMania matches. It's so good.
It gave a good bit of story, or at least ability to tell story between now and Mania and set everything up. Honestly, we don't have a Saturday night main event between now and then, which it would be a saving grace if they had, because then they could still tell a little bit of something. But I'm guessing, we have 18 to 20 more shows. Excuse me. We can do something between then. So
maybe, but it's also interesting because a good chunk of those shows are going to be international. So a lot of the Raws and SmackDowns, I think after this week and the following week, is international.
Are they?
Yeah, cool. So I know some of the Raw and SmackDowns are going to be in international locations, and then I think the week before Mania or a couple weeks before Mania is when they're back in the States. So interesting choices, but this was a fantastic men's elimination chamber. This was great. I loved every single moment, which means, Kilt, there's only one more thing to talk about.
Yes, let's talk about I Want Your Soul, man.
Okay, so about 2 weeks. What was it? About 2 weeks ago. Now. Yeah. Cody and Rock cut promo. Rock wants Cody to become the corporate champion, and he wanted Cody to give him his answer at Elimination Chamber. So that is what we have. Cody Rhodes comes down to congratulate John Cena. Then Cody Rhodes gets on the microphone. He cuts a small little promo before telling The Rock to go fuck himself.
Oh, that was so nice.
I was like, short, sweet, to the point. I was like, yo, Cody Rhodes.
He said it with his whole chest.
He said it with everything. And I was just like, this is the energy I need, Cody Rhodes. Give me this. So then, Rock looks to go away and walks away. Cody and Cena hug. And then
I was wondering, why is he glaring like that? Like, why is he looking like, is he trying to play, this is mine, I'm going to protect him type of situation? And then we had,
I don't know if Rock meant to go across the throat, but like he went,
and I'm like,
that's weird.
Are you
could just do that. But John Cena, the sleeper agent, activated, because then this is the face of heel John Cena, and I was losing my absolute mind.
I'm kind of upset you didn't get the ball kick, basically, because did you see the face on Green Man?
Oh, priceless.
And I feel so bad for R-Truth, because they did a little spot with him afterwards, and he's like, "Oh no, he didn't mean that. He didn't do it on purpose. You have his number? Can you text him? I don't have my phone on me. Oh no, I'll call him. I'll text him." I'm like, "Oh no, R-Truth."
I was like, not R-Truth.
Do you have any more of this segment on? Okay, I sent you this TikTok earlier, but it's funny because there's a Garfunkel and Oates song called "You and Me and Your Friend Steve," because it's me and you and you and me and you and me and your friend Steve. The fuck is Travis Scott doing there? There's no reason. He didn't progress the storyline. He was just there, and I'm like, what? Whoa! And what's funny is you mentioned red flag number 1 back at the end of the chamber match. No, sir. Red flag number 1 was the I'm going to the Elimination Chamber. What's best for the company is I main event WrestleMania. That was a red flag. And what's also funny is we mentioned this a while at one point in the last 2 days that Cena had actually gone on an interview with Chris Van Fleet and was talking about what was going to be the original heel turn, which was Cena versus Rock number 1. He had picked up the ring gear. He had made a new song for it. He was ready to go. And he told how it would have happened. And that's how it happened. And because he made the announcement, he didn't show up until Elimination Chamber. Yes, it was scheduling conflicts, but he stayed true to it, to that little indicator. And then this is what happened. And oh my God, none of us are ready for this.
No.
No one saw it coming. And it was absolute cinema.
Yes.
I have been literally vibing on this all weekend and all day. It is phenomenal. The hidden storytelling. I don't know how anyone was able to keep this so close to the cuff, because how could that not even just remotely link? Like it's just a little bit, like a frog's hair lit a bit, like someone. This was almost as big as when Edge came back and no one knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn.
Exactly. This heel turn, John Cena is about to retire. We finally get a heel Cena. Oh my God, I am so excited. I cannot wait for Mania. I cannot wait for the rest of John Cena's, year before he retires. Oh my gosh, this final segment has now given me so much excitement for Mania. And now Cody versus Cena is wild. Ooh, hold up. In the last few moments, we have one more person. So I'm going to play our little thing and then, get our person in here. So enjoy this 10-second. Well, I say 10 seconds. I don't know how long it actually is, but enjoy this little dance break.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hi, Professor.
I was playing music along with you, and then the dance break was over. I
know, it was so quick. I can't even get to start dancing.
I feel like I'm here for the crux of the thing.
Right? So, you are.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit, because I do want to get your thoughts, and then we'll spend most of the ending of what happened at the end. So, quick thoughts on Work With Me Today. There we go. Quick thoughts on this one.
Oh, I can go through this. Great. I thought this was great. I thought this is. There were a few. Of course, Jade showing up was fantastic. The storytelling of that was lovely. I kind of want to know where Bianca goes from here. Yes, you killed men.
Were you here long enough, early enough to hear what I mentioned about Jade Cargill in that first image?
No, what'd you do?
So, have you ever played Elder Scrolls Morrowind?
I know of it. I know. Yeah. What? Wait. What am I looking? Oh shit!
She looks like the golden elf god from Morrowind in this image, and I'm like, yes, let me bow down and worship you.
Oh my gosh, you are actually right. I've thought of that game in so long.
I know.
I missed that Skyrim rabbit hole. I was there for years.
So was I.
Oh, I need to go back.
Okay, so anyway, sorry to derail.
No, you're fine.
I want to make sure you got that.
I thought this was a great element. I thought it was fun. I wish there was a little more for Alexa Bliss. But other than that, I thought this was great. I my picks were trash. I think I went 1-4. Like I got hosed.
I did a clean sweep, which is crazy.
Ridiculous.
Because I'm the only one that picked KO.
So, I'm making that quick. I had fun watching this. I thought it kicked off really, really well. The women tend to do better when they kick off the show because they set the tone, they set the momentum. They don't have to wait for anybody else. I thought it was great.
Fantastic. All right. Next quick take.
It's fine.
Dang.
It's fine. I jumped on the tail part of what y'all were saying. I agreed with all of that. It was here to make Tiffany face. It was here to give Trish a reason for Toronto to scream. I thought they all worked really well together. It did feel like they got a little rushed for time, some of these spots. Like I felt like their time might have gotten cut and nobody knew why. Of course, we know why now. But it was solid. It was fine. People are really ragging on it, saying like it would be great if it wasn't for that one. Like, shut up. This is still one of the better pay-per-views we've had in years.
No, absolutely. Now, you could spend a little time for this third one.
All that was missing was the blood, and that's just me being nitpicky, right? They know how to work with each other. They know how to do these hardcore matches. This is as close to Generico and Steam that we're going to get ever, right? The hockey stick, I think we could have done a little more with the hockey stick. I think they bailed on it a little too soon. I was in the car for the Chekhov's gun reference, which that absolutely was. If you're going to set up a cake worth of tables, someone's going through a cake worth of tables. I felt bad for the snack table. I agree. I was curious about the RKO ending and folks being late. I did read that story as well, that folks were having a hard time getting there. The punt would have been amazing, especially with McAfee 10 feet away, like all these experts in punting people. I wonder where we're going because now you have RKO back, but I think Kevin and Sammy are going to get time off. So I wonder what Randy does in the meantime, but we'll see. This was also on my short list for matches of the year. I heard you all mention that. This is on there for me too.
Yeah, so it was only the second day. No, it was the first day of March, and I already depending on how the rest of this month goes, I'm like, this might be my favorite match of March.
Sure,
it's crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
So next second to last, what did you think?
That was a great elimination chamber. I thought Logan Paul got put in his place. I picked him to win because I still have Vince McMahon in my head. Like he would have done that. He would have pulled the trigger on such a thing. The fact that we built the way we built to have Seth, Punk, and Cena, and then the way Seth goes out, and then the way Punk goes out, and that everyone looked strong, everything matched up and lined up. I wasn't watching wrestling when the two of them were having their first initial feud, I guess 20 years ago or however long that would have been. But I still had that same sense of, oh, this is history stuff. Anytime you have, basically all of them but Logan Paul, even though he probably will, all of them are Hall of Famers. Like all of them have the potential to be people we talk about generations from now, right? So the fact that it's all right, we're seeing something special happen right in front of us. It was a little hard from a production standpoint, the top-down cam on when the actual chamber was getting picked. I'm not sure why they changed what they changed, but who knows? Again, that's just nitpicky. And elimination chambers can go south fast and like get, I don't want to say dull, but sort of get that now we're just waiting for cues feel. We never had this with this. This was great. I was very impressed.
And then the cherry on top.
I was sitting and watching, and my first thought on this face was, why are you mad? That's weird. Because it did not compute in my brain. Like, why is that angry face? Wait. And the moment I had that wait, ... they cut to The Rock missing his throat.
I was going to say, I was like, what? I was like, sir.
Throat, not face.
I was like,
whatever he did. And I was like, why are you pointing at your face? No. And the moment I went to yell no, he kicked him in the huevos and it was over. And I was like,
and then beat down.
Oh my God. I agree with the three other big YouTube channels that talked about this, that this was we're so used to the swerve, right? AEW is really good at the swerve. 90s WWE was really good at the swerve. You're thinking one thing, you're thinking the other. Never the shock. Never the surprise, right? I thought Cody was going to say yes. that was going to be the hook, right? I know I picked the other way, but part of me was like, I'm fine being wrong. I think that if it's going to be anything, it's him going to be saying yes and then doing something to somebody else, right? Having Cena there in the ring at first was really weird. Like, why is he here for this? He has no reason to be here for this. And then we see what we see. I love the memes that have come. The memes are strong with this one. The memes are real good if you've seen them over the weekend. Like, there's some really good memes.
My favorite is the Garfunkel and Oates one.
Yeah. That one's very good. The Make-A-Wish guy right now. That
John
was
Cena is now Break-A-Wish.
yeah, Break-A-Wish Foundation. I'm very intrigued. I feel bad for everyone who bought hats and shirts that day. I do think, and then are we still, was there more to talk about? I don't want to step on anything. I know I'm late.
No, keep going. Yeah, because I just want your quick thoughts, and then we can continue to talk about Elimination Chamber as a whole.
We're in the wrap-up phase anyway. I do think, and a few other people speculate this, I do think the plan will be to flip him back at WrestleMania. Or by WrestleMania. We got 6-7 months. He's apparently in another country filming a movie. Like, he's already gone.
Weeks.
Right? Say it again?
Weeks, not months.
Is it weeks away? Yeah.
It's WrestleMania is
mid-April.
9 to 10 weeks.
Oh, WrestleMania is a few weeks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think he's already gone in another country. WrestleMania could be something huge as well. I think we do something a few months away where we spin him back somehow because he might want to go heel
and pulls him back into the light. Yeah,
something like that. It could be Cody fighting for Cena's soul, which is pretty wild. It could be him turning his back on the final boss in some, wheelchair kid in the ring match. I don't know, some Make-A-Wish kind of thing. Kilt.
You were slightly close to what I thought. It's R-Truth.
Oh, sure.
R-Truth. If R-Truth ends up being the one to pull Cena back, I'll be like, best wrestler.
This entire time between now and the time that the end of the year when Cena's supposed to retire, it's literally R-Truth trying to get to Cena to get him to go back. And then, like, the last match, he finally reflips. And
we had these hints of, this has been a Papa H thing since we got here the last few months, right? This sort of, these interesting character segments, right? CM Punk talking to Cody, you really going to do it? Was that really who you are? Sort of segments, or even Solo and Fatu's segments. I know what I am. I wonder what you are. Like these sort of cinematic soap opera things that are getting plugged in there. I wouldn't doubt we're going to get a whole host of these. I don't think we're going to go full Winter Soldier, like soulless John Cena. I'm doing it for the money, because then you're just misusing the momentum you have. But I mean, it worked. We want to watch. We're here now. I want to say, as far as WWE goes, it was WrestleMania, the first night of the WrestleMania you were at, Backlash Puerto Rico, Backlash France, Elimination Chamber Toronto. Like, over the last 3 or 4 years, at least in my opinion, since we've been really diligently watching these, those are the top 4. And this is right there. Like, everything was great.
Absolutely. I'm like, this has me super hyped for Mania. I'm so excited. And yeah, I think this is for me personally, this is WWE's best pay-per-view. I mean, the ones you mentioned were really fantastic as well. The international crowds are just better. Like, I'm not even, like, for reals.
They got to leave the country to good stuff. Like, it's just interesting.
It's crazy.
There's just something about the logistics that maybe tends to bring it together. I don't know.
Oh, man. But I mean, on the report card, I gave this an A-. This was almost a near flawless show. Like, holy crap. And it has me excited for Mania. And I cannot wait to see what the final card looks like for both nights. But yeah, this was so good. I'm like, me being patient and trudging through the 2010s of WWE when it was god awful to here. I was like, me being a fan has paid off. Then again, I watched like 50,000 things, so like we're good. Like, but I'm excited. I was like, finally, WWE, I think, is back into a position where I was just like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm just here though. It's gonna be a fun ride. To now, it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy like all the t-shirts now. Like, oh my goodness. I can't wait. This was a really amazing pay-per-view. Boys, I would like to thank both of you, even though, Kilt for being here the whole time, and Professor, even though you were here for the last 15 minutes. Hey, you know what? You are important to all of this too. So I thank you for your input. Like, seriously. So,
I mean, you missed my cool little re-entrance. That was nice.
hey, he's here though.
I mean, I was listening in the car, like, I know, I agree, like barking at you all, and then I got home and had to run around. But
no, it's funny because yesterday during Duo Dynasty, Nick was like, "You should do this," and so I'm like,
"See, you left me alone with Kilt and Nick, and that was the thing."
I would love Nick's opinion on Elimination Chamber. I'm sure Nick lost his mind.
We could go back and watch what he talked.
I gotta go back and watch. Actually, I gotta go back and check it out. Yeah.
If not on for our show, he did a breakdown of Elimination Chamber with his wife too. So that's also like, man, I'm just excited. This is going to be a fun. I was excited for WrestleMania builds. Now I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good, you guys. Oh my goodness. But you know what? That's going to wrap up us here at Grapple Gurus. And so I would like to thank Kilt and the Professor, part of my Wrestle Watch crew, for being here this evening. So, Kilt, we are done. WWE pay-per-views are done for you until Mania season, but things do not slow down here at BC WrestlePod, because now I got to go into the spiel of what the rest of the week looks like for us. So tomorrow evening is our AEW review, where we will be going over Dynamite and Collision, and dropping to you boys tomorrow morning is making our predictions for Revolution. Revolution is this Sunday. Holy crap. Professor's like, I'm out. Bye. I can't. Like,
I've only watched like half of Dynamite. I got to talk about it tomorrow. Like, it feels like I got homework.
You know what? It's okay. Just get through what you can, and then we'll wing the rest of it, because I'd be like, this is what happened. Thoughts. So, and thankfully the storylines are been easy to follow, but honestly, minus maybe like one match, the rest of the card is pretty stacked. So Dynamite, Collision review tomorrow, and then do predictions for Revolution, which is going to be wild. Then on Wednesday, you get a double dose of NXT and CMLL, as our whole crew will hopefully be back together again. Then on Friday, me and Will will be, I will be here, and I might have a mystery host with me cover TNA as we inch ever so closer to Sacrifice, which is next week. We have another pay-per-view next week. Well, technically there's two. Me and Will are going to be busy. And then we finish off the week, because Saturday is the final day of the week. Sunday is the beginning. Adolfo and I will be here on Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Pacific, to watch MLW's Intimidation Games pay-per-view, which I'm super excited. And if you want to join us, y'all can, because the show is free on MLW's YouTube. Their shows are always free, so y'all go check it out. And this is the final show before the big event in April of Battle Riot, which is basically this is a 40-person over-the-top battle, but instead of getting a number one contendership, the winner will walk out as the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. So Mr. Matthew Riddle has to defend his championship against 39 other individuals. So it's going to be crazy. Yeah, this is going to be wild. So that one might be a good one to join us for the watch-alongs. But I'm so excited. Things are heating up now that spring is here. And before we know it, in a blink of an eye, it will be WrestleMania season. Stay tuned for more information, because in 2 weeks, I'm dropping all the info about what to expect for WrestleMania week, and my hosts are going to have to figure out how much of their soul they're willing to sell for WrestleMania 41 Hell Week.
It's going to get interesting. When does the onesie counter start or end? It's soon, right?
So, WrestleMania for the WWE League is the final show. So whoever ends up in last place in the league is gonna have to do a
It's me.
a onesie, a wrestling
It's me.
singlet for a whole entire week of reviews.
It's me. Like I already know. Oh my god, the memes are better.
It's either going to be
Oh.
a wrestling singlet or we're gonna make you dress like one of the Hardy Boys. So we'll get you a mesh T-shirt and everything.
Put eye paint on my eyes and do all that
Yes.
stuff. I mean, that's letting me off light.
While
Definitely.
wearing the
Oh my
onesie.
God. This is crazy.
This is great.
By the way,
Go for
John
it.
Cena finally turned heel. Def Rebel about to drop the most AI generated track ever.
No, not the Death Rebel.
Crushing
Gosh.
them.
No.
Anyway.
Oh man, but
Anyway.
but I'm super excited. So from all of us here at Wrestle Watch and the rest of the BC Wrestle Pod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will see you tomorrow for our AEW review. But until then, sayonara, adios, and catch you next time. Ta-ta for now.